Hello, students of grade 4. Ma'am Abigail here. I welcome you once again. Today, we will be learning Unit 5 Tell Me How. In this unit, you'll be focusing on instructions, explanations, gather information, and compare different text features. You'll be able to identify personal and impersonal style of writing, focusing on the third person pronouns and also the importance of a leaflet. I want you to turn to page number 72 and read the story The Salt Princess. I would like to give you a summary of the story. The Salt Princess is a fairy tale, a story about a king who learned the value of salt in his life. Although the story is fiction, the message is based on the fact that we need salt because salt is inevitable for life. The central lesson is that salt, as it is necessary for life and is more precious than gold and emeralds. There are other salt facts that has changed the course of history. Read some of the facts on page number 73 about how salt is used. There is a lot of information available online about salt and its uses, but you should also understand that table salt, that is sodium chloride, is edible, but many other salts are inedible. Some of these expressions have detailed explanation and origin. If you have access to the internet or a Facebook, you can find out more about their origins. Let's discuss this expression on page 74 and think why this expression might have evolved. For example, to take something with a pinch of salt. What it literally means is that to realize that something you hear might have been exaggerated. Another example, word one salt, which means hardworking and valuable. We can also use this expression in our sentences too. For instance, I don't believe the weather reports on television, so I take them with a pinch of salt. Or worth one salt. Any teacher worth his salt should have excellent test construction skills. Here are some examples of other well-known expressions that use the word salt which you can use in your speech. Let us learn about style. What is style? Style is the way a text is written, the words and language chosen for the purpose and audience of the text. You would use a personal style for casual writing and to express personal feelings, emotions, or memories. Example, a friendly letter or a diary. Whereas you can use an impersonal style for formal writing, which are usually serious and not friendly. For example, formal letter, rules and instruction. People use different styles of writing and speaking because one style of speaking or writing may be appropriate in one context but not another. For instance, if you were to explain to why you were absent to a friend, it will be different from how you explain to your teacher. Let's have a look at the differences between a personal style and an impersonal style. A personal style sounds friendly and relaxed, whereas an impersonal style uses formal language and it's usually serious. A personal style uses contraction, but an impersonal style uses specialized vocabulary. A personal style uses colloquial language. A colloquial language refers to the level of language that is used in everyday speech, whereas an impersonal style avoids slangs and contraction. Slang is a type of language that consists of words that are regarded informal and are more common in speech than writing. They are typically restricted to a particular context or group of people. A personal style uses informal expression and can include dialogue, whereas an impersonal style uses second or third person pronouns and can include quotations. We use personal style in a text message from a friend, a personal diary, and a postcard. Impersonal style is found in a recipe, a science experiment, direction, and timetables. But there are texts that uses a mixture of both personal and impersonal styles. They are blogs, letters, newspapers, and magazine articles. As you know, pronouns are used in place of nouns in order to avoid using the same noun over and over again. Third person pronouns are often used in impersonal text because while writing in third person, you are writing about other people without mentioning yourself. It is more objective and less personal. For example, everyone uses salt because salt is so useful. We see that the object salt is repeated, so in order to avoid the repetition, we use the third person pronoun it. For example, everyone uses salt because it is so useful. Follow instruction. What is an instruction? Instruction tells you what to do step by step. Instruction usually starts with an imperative verb, also called a command verb. An imperative verb is a doing word that tells someone to do something so that the sentence becomes an order or command. Example, fold your clothes, mix the sugar, close the door. So here the imperative verb like fold, mix, close outlines an action that must be done. I want you to skim over page 76 and read the instructions carefully as how you can easily grow these non-toxic salt and vinegar crystals in rainbow color. The numbering puts the instruction in order so they are clear, making sense. The order steps or sequence is an important part of giving instruction. They are often numbered but don't always have to be in numbers as there are many ways to order the steps. Example, sequence bullet points or frames with pictures. Read through the experiment carefully and if there's any unfamiliar words, use a dictionary if possible. Have a look at the features of an instruction on page 76. Headings. As you can see, grow a salt crystal garden. List of materials. Materials refers to things required to grow. The numbered steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Usage of imperative verb at each steps. Dissolve, place, pour, save, dot, set, add, grow. Usage of impersonal style. As you can see, the texts are written using formal language and no contraction used. And it also uses second person narrative, that is you. Be clear and precise. Read through the language focus box on page 77 and reinforce how to recognize the subject and verb in a sentence. The subject is the person or thing doing the action. An instruction often has an implied subject, you. When the subject is implied and a verb is used at the beginning of the sentence, these verbs are called command verbs. Let's look back at the first instruction given on page 76. In the jug, dissolve salt in the hot water and vinegar until no more salt will dissolve. Here the verb is dissolve, and we have applied implied subject you before the verb dissolve. For instance, in the jug, you dissolve salt in the hot water and vinegar until no more salt will dissolve. Now let's change the following sentences into instruction by removing the subject and starting with the command verb. The children should listen carefully. The command verb at the beginning of sentence have implied subject rather than named subject and gives an order or command. For instance, listen carefully. Use preposition. Prepositions tell you where things are in relation to each other, and a preposition is always followed by a noun, a proper noun, and a noun phrase. A preposition and a noun phrase form a prepositional phrase. For example, the preposition and the prepositional phrases in the salt crystal instruction are given below. Skim the text in page 81 and remember to look at the heading, the picture. Is the text organized? What is the style and layout of the text? And possibly the topic sentence to get an idea of what the text is about. A topic sentence is the sentence that sums up what the paragraph is about. Remember, a particular order is not essential in an explanation text. It is often the first sentence of a paragraph, but not always. Sometimes the topic sentence is somewhere in the middle or at the end. While identifying the headings, try to look for this question. What is a crystal cave? How and when was it discovered? How did the crystal form? Where is the cave? What is the condition inside the cave? And don't forget to look for the topic sentence. Diagrams are a useful way to help organize or explain an information. The type of diagram you use depends on the type of information you are organizing. For example, circular flow or food chain describes a life cycle. Linear flow, it describes a process, is used in a timeline or a recipe. Pyramid or inverted pyramid shows people's like and dislikes. Spider or Venn diagrams shows link in an information. So whenever you make notes, make sure you choose your own diagram which you think will work best. A mind map may be best to allow you to organize notes into a main and subtopic with keywords under each subtopic. As in the text on the giant crystal cave, a linear flow diagram works well to describe a process. Connectives. Connectives are also known as linking word or conjunctions. The word connective indicates that these words link or connect words or sentences. Time connectives. It sequence sentences and give clues about when an action takes place. Logical connectives can show a cause and effect. On page 84, the label diagram gives us the information about what to wear when you enter the cave. So what we are going to do is we are going to write a short paragraph explaining how to wear the protective gear. But your paragraph should include the following features: heading, topic sentence, sequence, and connectives given in the word bank. Working with complex sentences, an explanation text uses sentences of different length, as you know that a sentence contains a subject and a verb. It begins with a capital letter and ends with a full stop or other punctuation mark. A phrase is a group of words without a verb that does not form a complete sentence of its own. Example, fill the jug with hot water. A clause is a group of words containing a subject and a finite verb. There are two types of clauses, main clauses and subordinating clauses. A subordinating clause depends on the main clause. A subordinating clause adds details to the main clause. It often begins with connectives and it can come at the beginning or at the end of a sentence. What is a leaflet? Leaflets are a type of open letter which is designed to be handed out to the people, either by hand, by post, or even inserted in local newspapers for distribution to grab attention. Why to write a leaflet? To advertise a product, to provide information about important issues and events, to draw attention to any organization, cause, or events which allow someone to take an action. The leaflet must explain what visitors to the cave can expect. The layout of a leaflet should have headings and is organized in sections. There is a short paragraph under each section relating to the heading. Each paragraph has a topic sentence. The writing style is formal and impersonal. There are a range of sentences and connectives that are used to link. It uses pictures or diagrams to help the reader understand the text. The information is neatly organized and ready to read and understand. While designing a leaflet, use the grammatical features. They are usually written in present tense, employing emotive language and often using metaphor and similes. Use simple and direct language, have positive word, and use of non-discriminatory language. Contact information should be there and make sure that it has a title and slogan. Your leaflet should include impersonal style, specialized vocabulary, and facts relating to the topic sentence in each paragraph, correct preposition, connectives to link and sequence the information. It should be informative and make sure that your leaflet looks good. That's all I have for you. Till then, stay home and stay safe.